good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of LKD Talks. My name is Emmanuel LKD, and let's fucking be real for a sec. Now, today we got my boy Kevin Padron. What's up? Yeah.
What's good? I appreciate the applause.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. You gotta. There you go. It's a loud one. So, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel very hydrated. I have my little water right here. I just got out the shower. I feel clean. I feel great. How about you?
So fresh and so clean, man. I'm feeling good too, man.
So clean, so fresh and so clean.
Yep. Shout out Outcast. Fresh and clean.
Word.
All right, man. So before we get started, can you introduce yourself to the audience about who you are, what you do, and why you do it?
Yeah, I can do that. My name is Kevin Padron. I am, I guess you can call me a pop artist from Tuscumbia, Alabama. I guess my why is to kind of just make music that people can feel and relate to. And I try to like do that in a way to where everybody can feel like they have somebody in a way, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like me and Kevin, we've had some Instagram lives in the past, like a lot. And we used to go like live, go live with each other and stuff like that. And I remember Kevin saying that his music is very emotional driven. It's like feeling driven. It's like a feeling. And like when you listen to his music, you can definitely feel that. And I kind of want to ask you what, I guess, I'm gonna this is gonna sound super blunt, but why is it so emotional?
Why is it so emotional?
Yeah.
I guess like my approach towards it all is like I guess there's different music that you could listen to for different things. And I guess mine is just a void to where like I have been through a lot of not trying to trauma dump at all, but I have been through things to where like I've been forced to use my emotions and I've been forced to like be put in that situation to where my emotions are vulnerable and like I do see it. So for the longest time, I didn't feel like I had like an outlet. I didn't know what my outlet was. It just seemed like everything was just bottled inside of me. And music kind of made that like as corny as it sounds, music made it easier to tell like that side of myself and be honest with myself and actually realize that I do have these feelings and this is an outlet that I can express it onto. And the beautiful thing about it all is that there's other people that feel the exact same way. So it's like it's kind of like a safe haven for me because I can be brutally honest about my emotions and the way that I feel. But there's other people that feel the exact same way, so it makes the feeling not so like terrible feeling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like you listen to a song and then you're like, oh, that's exactly how I feel.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Because there's songs that like even like I listen to right where it's like I feel like you wrote this song just for me because I'm feeling that same exact way. And like, I mean, I try my best to like be as honest as I can in my music. So like that could possibly happen for somebody else because like at the end of the day, I just want to be able to relate to people. I feel like once you can relate to somebody, you can form a connection even if you don't even know the person.
right. Yeah, like I mean, it makes me think about those artists who say that their fans come up to them and say, your music saved my life. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like, like eventually we might get to that level, but like that's
Yeah.
just crazy to think about that someone's music, saved someone from, you know, committing something permanent.
Yeah. That's I bet you that's a surreal feeling. I mean, I couldn't imagine it because like I don't, that hasn't happened to me yet, at least. But
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine that. I mean, hopefully, like I can be a void for someone who does like feel like they don't have anybody that they can listen to that and at least feel some type of comfort. I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah, see, like, forget numbers, forget fame, forget that. I just want to have impact.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like if it's meant to be, then all that will come with time. But as long as you're like in love with what you do and you have like a strong like why, you know what I'm saying? And all of that follows. And
Mm,
I don't think I've ever been really caught up into the analytics and any of that because like I do enjoy like music as like a passion and as like it's just something that I enjoy to do anyway.
mm.
So I mean like even like if I didn't upload music on Spotify or whatever, like I'd still probably be in my room making music just because that's what I love to do.
Mm. Do you ever get, or like, do you ever sometimes find yourself being caught up in the analytics and numbers sometimes though?
I feel like it's a natural thing, especially with how fast like the internet is moving nowadays. And like, I know you see it all the time. You have these 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids that get like, which I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm just like saying like, like like how the trend of the internet, like you see these 13 and 14-year-old kids like get on Band Lab, make a song like takes 30 minutes to make it and it blows up and and it kind of like I don't want to say it discourages me in any way because it doesn't. Like I'm proud of I want to see everybody succeed and I have like no like resentment towards that, but it's just like I do like kind of take into effect how long I have been doing this
Mm.
and like how long I put in the work doing this and it kind of makes me like dang, like
Yeah.
it was that easy.
Yeah, man, I hear
But I mean,
you.
other than that, like it's I feel like it's a natural thing to see the numbers, but to get caught up into it is a different thing because I feel like once you do get caught into like the analytics game, you start to lose passion on why you even do it in the first place.
Mm,
So I try not to pay attention to it, but like I'd be lying if I said I didn't notice it.
mm. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, man, like with what you said about these people just on Band Lab and stuff like that, just making hits
Now
in
you
five
see it, you
minutes. I
see
see it too. I'm like,
it.
wow, like bro, like literally, like, okay, this is no disrespect at all, but like my brother, he showed me a song that he made in Band Lab. I'm like, this sounds really good. What the heck?
Not that
I'm like, what the
bad.
heck? Like I spent $200 on FL Studio and you just download BandLab for
No.
free. I'm like, come on now.
No. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. So like something else I kind of wanted to ask you is why pop slash hip hop slash R&B? Like why that route? Why not jazz or blues or as an approach for your music?
Um, I guess like why I define my music as pop is because I mean it's the most reasonable thing for me to say, and I mean I definitely do try to dive into like those other elements like jazz or um, you know like other different. There's a song that I have which I'm not trying to self plug at all, but there's a song that I do have. It's called "Lying to Me." And like towards the end I do kind of like dive into this jazz type of element, you know what I'm saying? And in one of my recent releases as well, Storm in Your Eyes, like towards the end I try to like bring it that type of jazz type of, I mean really like I try not to make my music and define it into into a definite genre. I just do whatever I feel like sounds cool.
Mhm.
And sometimes like it's an attempt of doing something that I haven't done before. And whether that comes out as sounding like something that may be pop, then I just let that be. I mean, really like the focus for me is just like releasing something and whatever people think it is, and that's what it is. Because like half of the time, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what my genre is. I just
Mm.
say pop because it's easier to say.
That's true. That's true. I feel like nowadays people don't really care about genres in a way,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
unless
Unless
they're
like,
like
yeah, I get.
hardcore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like everybody, like especially like with the people who make music nowadays, I feel like everybody's kind of a bit genre fluid, and I think that's because like nowadays we're exposed to so much music to the point to where like it's kind of like it's kind of like in your subconscious to be genre fluid because you're intaking all these different genres and like they have no choice but to inspire you. And like
Mm.
you might catch yourself doing something that you don't even feel like is another genre, but you're just doing what feels right to you. And You know what I mean? Like it's kind
Right.
of weird because like I hear music all the time that has like different influences from something else, but it might just be something like simple labeled as like pop. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah, like it made me think about Lil Yachty. You know, he dropped his album Let's Start Here, and it's like a totally
exactly,
alternative rock, Pink Floyd inspired type
exactly,
album. I'm like,
exactly.
yo,
Yeah, music is like it's a lot of cool music to listen to out here. It really is. As much like as crap music gets nowadays for being so like stationary and like so repetitive. If you really like want to go out there and look, there's definitely cool music out there. But another problem with that is there's so much music out there. Like there's probably it's probably easy now. It's probably easier now to make music than it's ever been before. And like we mentioned, like the band lab, like just not like no disrespect to that, but like even the opportunity to just be able to like get on your phone and make a whole full-fledged song is just it's kind of cool in a way because like I remember when I first started doing this, like I got all this equipment and I was lost. I didn't know where to start. Like it was literally just like me trying to figure out like how to do it like every single day. And it took like the rough sounding songs and the songs that like probably will never see the light of day and it to like get to the point to where I am now. Not saying that I'm any types of accomplished now, but like just like seeing that like progress was like was cool to see. But now you see it, it's like if I wanted to, I can get on my phone, get on Bed and Lab right now and make like a song that it you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it's cool. It's cool to see how far technology has shifted. Even like in my like little lifetime, like that wasn't even that long ago when I started trying to do this. Like in the grand scheme of time, and like to see like the evolution of how technology has even like progressed in 5, 6 years is crazy.
Yeah, bro. It's kind of it's crazy, and I don't want to sound like an old head at the same time saying this, but sometimes it can be scary. Like, have you heard of AI artists, or I mean, like
Yeah.
AI musicians?
hmm
Like,
That you heard of that FM Mecca guy
he,
when
yeah, he got canceled. I was like, dang, like I heard him like rising up to fame, and then he said the N-word, and then he just got
it
canceled,
just
and
went
then it like
down.
it just went downhill.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you, God. But yeah, man, like imagine like I would hate like and I say this like strongly, like I would hate if people could just like hum like and then it'll like chat GPT itself into a song or whatever. And
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I feel like it like for people who actually kind of take it somewhat serious, like it's kind of a slap in the face. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like
Oh yeah.
because I mean, and I know that you could probably vouch for this as well. Like there, like a lot of the time, well, there's times where like you're sitting and making this music, and it's things that are really coming from like your heart and like things that you really feel strongly about, and it's hours upon hours. Whether it's like different takes into a mic or looking at your screen and make sure like the mix is okay, like no, or even just writing the song in general, because a lot of the times people don't realize how hard that can even be. And putting all that time into a creation that you created that is you, just for it to be like and it's a whole song, like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of disrespectful, but I mean like you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes.
Yeah, man. Like stuff like that can be hard because I feel like especially when we create from our heart, we want it to be perfect, and that's where like the perfectionistic mindset comes from. But it's hard, man. It's hard
It is hard.
because like I don't want to just give 50-50 into something that I'm super proud of. Like And just to kind of switch gears to kind of wrap up that present and go to a different present. Uh, like, did you ever like in your musical career? Did you ever have a good, solid musical community that supported you? Like other artists, were there other artists that supported you, or was it just kind of you by yourself and figuring your way out? Because you did mention that you were a little lost, but did you ever have like a solid community? Because I know I had when I first started out. Shout out to Avery Erlon. Like he was there from the start.
Shout out to Avery.
Yeah, shout out to Avery.
No, yeah, yeah, I there's as far as like a support like system goes for my music, I don't I I feel like I've had like a strong core, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Homesick. It's one of my closest friends. He actually lives in the same city as me. He's very talented in his own right, and he's crazy. I just had to put that out there because I respect that man so much. But you know, like we'll have talks, like especially being from the same city. You know what I'm saying? Like about things that we want to achieve, and we kind of keep each other like we keep our heads on straight because like we are like kind of the only ones doing it like around like where we're from and like the scene that we are in, like no disrespect to like where I am, it's kind of hard to like get people to notice that type of music, if that makes any sense at all. And like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've always had like a strong like support system as far as like my immediate, like whether it's like immediate family or close friends, you know, whatever the case may be. And, you know, I feel like the loneliness, like where, like when I explained to you that time where like the music did feel like a little lonely or a bit stagnant, it was really just like, it just really had everything to do with like myself and like the things that I was feeling at the time. Because like I'd be lying to like if I was to say like every single day that I try to create or I try to come up with something new that it's a breeze. Because like just like with life, because I mean like I feel like my music reflects my like real life. That's why I didn't choose like an artist name. I chose my name because like I want everything I do to be a reflection of who I am and what I like, not necessarily believe, but like the things that I do believe in. You know what I mean? Like everything is a direct reflection of me. So I mean, just like with my real life, how it has pauses and how like every moment like is not sunshine and flowers and rainbows. You know, you do have these still moments in your life. So I mean, I guess that just has no choice to reflect back to the music. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
um, I don't know. It's just everything correlates in my life, and like I try to like pride myself, not really pride myself, but keep myself like attentive to know that like I don't want to lie to myself. I want to be as real as I can to myself 100% of the time, even if it's not the best thing for me at the moment. Like it kind of just helps me stay on course to who I am as a person.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
don't know if that answered your question, but I talk in tangents. I talk in tangents. You
Gotcha.
know that
Yeah, 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 I heard you, man. Yeah,
though.
I know you. I know you. Yeah, I hear you, man. And that's a great segue into another conversation as well. As like, I feel like some artists get into that toxic grind set mindset where it's like, oh, I'm in the studio every day. Oh, I'm like making bangers after bangers after
And
bangers.
I hate to interrupt you. I hate to interrupt you, but like even being in that grind set mindset, being in the studio every single day, how do you come up with new ideas? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I feel like it like even like to create art, even if I wanted to paint a picture, like a picture back there or something, like you have to be able to experience real life to be able to put it into a creation. Because if you're sitting in like say I'm in the studio every single day, eventually I'm gonna run out of inspiration because like I'm literally just like gonna get to a point to where I'm recycling the same thing over and
Mhm.
over and over again because I am repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Sometimes like you have to take little breaks to go out and actually experience life so you can have this inspiration that can like create something that you may have not created if you were in that grind set mindset. Which I mean, there's definitely a balance to both because you don't want to get to the
Mhm.
point to where you're just experiencing and you're taking yourself away from your creation. Obviously there's a
Mhm.
balance, but you know like you have to be able to experience life to be able to, you know what I'm saying, like have new ideas.
Right, man. Like I found
I'm
myself.
sorry for interrupting you.
Oh no,
I
you're
just
good, man.
didn't
You're good. Like that just gave me more time to think about what I wanted to say. No, I'm kidding. But like,
it
no, I'm
all
kidding.
worked
I'm
out
kidding.
then.
But like, that's a great point because like, and also just to add on to what you said too of like, don't only don't only just experience it, but to keep that balance, but don't purposely go out to create bad experiences for yourself, to make a
No, for
song
sure.
about heartbreak or to make a song about
No, for
depression.
sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I just wanted to add it on to artists who feel like they don't have any inspiration. But honestly, you can get inspiration from a lot of things. Like for me, bro, a big thing that inspires me, and you could probably see it in my room, like anime, bro. Anime, like all of this stuff inspires me to make music because it's a nice, like, not only is it an escape, but it's a way where I can draw my colorful energy from. It's a great place for me to uh, take the position of that character and translate it into another song. Like, for example, my song Legend, like you've seen Death Note, right?
I have.
Yeah. So basically, the song Legend it takes the same kind of position as Light Yagami, who's a super prideful, uh, egotistical. Oh, what's it? One mindset called God complex mindset. It's like that whole song is from the perspective of someone with a God complex, and
Yeah.
like honestly, like for me, inspiration from just media uh has just helped a lot. Like it doesn't have to
Yeah.
necessarily be from life, which is still good to have from life as well, because you need something to pull from that's still real and still
I
you.
mean, but that's a part of your life though. So
That's true. That's true.
and I love how you explain yourself with having colorful energy. I could definitely see that. Like
Oh,
I
thank
could definitely
you.
see it.
Yeah, bro. Sometimes I feel like a real life anime character, but not the cringe ones. But not the one with I have the power of God and anime on my side. Like
No, I'm
not
not
like
gonna
that.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. When I get through watching some anime, like I turn the TV off thinking that I'm in the anime.
Yeah, bro.
It's such an embarrassing feeling, but it's like real though. It's real.
It's real though, bro. Like sometimes you need like when you're at the gym and on that last rep, you need that power up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just have your own original soundtrack playing in the background that no one else can hear. You're just like, ah.
Um,
Oh man. So are you ever inspired by like media or entertainment or anything else like that? I mean, because I know we talk about how life can inspire us, but what inspires you? Like what else inspires you?
what inspires me? Oh my gosh. Like this is a very hard question because I know, but like I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like and what I mean by that is like I feel like you can I'm not trying to play like the I'm not trying to like give you a cliche answer at all, but like I feel like you can truly take inspiration from every single thing that happens in your life. So I mean, as bogus as an answer this may seem like, life inspires me. Like the ability just to be able to live and experience it inspires me because like it is so much that goes on, like whether it's good or bad, that you could take inspiration, you could take advice from, whether it's good inspiration to where it's like, yo, I could use this, or it's like something traumatic or something bad that happens. And it's like, well, I can take what not to do from this. And it just I don't know. It's like I don't. I guess life inspires me. That's this, and I know that sounds like such a boring answer, but like it's real for me. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. And usually it's called the cliche because it's true, like it's true. Like,
the older I've gotten too, like is the more you realize that these cliches are like cliches for a reason. Like some, like they're actually true. I mean, as simple as it sounds, like it's true. But I mean, like I feel like a lot of the time, like as humans, we overcomplicate life when like sometimes it is kind of simple. Sometimes you do just need to take a back seat and let the driver drive, and you just experience different things and just realize that like a lot of the times we do overcomplicate things just because like we live in an overcomplicated world to where
mm,
everything's complicated and we don't really see that some things are more simple than we give ourselves credits for, and a lot of the times we are too hard on ourselves. But I
Mm,
mean, like it's a balance with everything, I feel like.
that's good. I feel like as you're kind of saying that, I was kind of overcomplicating the statement. I was trying to think of like a question to overcomplicate what you just said, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it how it is. I'm just gonna take it how it is. I'm not trying to. I don't want to overcomplicate it because like I don't want to overcomplicate it because there's nothing to overcomplicate because what you said is simple enough. It's like, oh, that's true. Like we really do
Yeah,
just
I mean,
complicate
to
everything.
piggyback on what you were like saying, like I feel like sometimes like it's a natural thing for like us like to try to always come up with the right answer. And I find myself doing that too. Like I'm always like there's times where like I'm in conversations and I try to come up with the right response. But like sometimes like you do just have to let things flow and you have to let things be
Mm,
how they are. And like I feel like that's how you get the most organic feeling from something, just letting them be, not trying
mm.
to like over complicate or over analyze or overthink a situation. Just let things play their course because everything always figures itself out in the end anyway. So just
Right.
let the wave
Right, just let it wave, let it flow, man. Just like this
let it
podcast, we're
flow.
just letting it flow, man. And
Just
to piggyback off of what you said, with just kind of letting it flow, it kind of makes me think about how we as humans, we always love to have the last say in everything.
yeah,
Like with what you said, like we always love to have the right answer. But honestly, man, like from what I've experienced, just kind of letting people talk and share their story and not even giving any input or feedback or anything, it's just kind of nice because like you can kind of sit with it. It's kind of like watching a show in a way where you can't give any inputs, but the story they're telling in the show and the themes and what the characters are going through, like even though you can't interact with it, you can still take something from it and just kind
yeah.
of just like sit with it, be like, mm,
Like I feel that. I
yeah.
really feel that.
Yeah, like bro, like we as people, we're really all so complex, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about this the other day too. I was at my sister's basketball game last night, and I was just looking at the refs. Like, no matter, refs can make a bad call, but at the same time, they're still a person. Someone still loves them. They have a family, and they have their own goals and dreams and aspirations. And it makes me think about, dang, like life isn't all about us. Like, there's other people that have these they think that they're the one too, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I love that you said that actually, because like, I mean, if you would have asked me like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I didn't think like that at all. But I mean, I don't know what like shifted in me. Like I've been like that same way that you just explained that is like how I try to see everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is their own entity because everybody can bring something like, and that sounds very like obvious as well, but like everybody has their own life and everybody has their own problems and everybody goes through things. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And a lot of the times we do get caught up into our own life thinking that we're the main character of this whole planet Earth when there's so many people who go through the same thing. And I guess that it kind of makes me feel comfort too. Because I mean like I'm the type of person to where I try to understand people's like emotions and I try to see everybody for who they are. And I was actually talking to my grandmother about this yesterday. Like I was telling her I don't want to see you as an old person. I want to see you as a person. Because like
Mhm.
it's a lot of the times where like us young people, we treat older people like they're, oh, look at that old person. Meanwhile, this person that's 60 or 7 years old, 70 years old, they've had a wife, they've had kids, they've had grandkids, they've had all these experiences that we're going through and we're just treating them like they're we're treating them like babies, bro. And
Yeah.
it's just so odd to me because like I try to respect people's word and who they are as a person, and why not, you know, try to respect somebody who's been here way longer than you. You know, we've just been here for this much. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's always
Yeah.
good to listen to somebody who has experienced more than you. That's how you learn, in my opinion. Whether what they're telling you is always true or not, like it's always subjective. It's always going to be subjective, but you can take something from everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, I like that. I like that. I'm just letting that marinate right now. I'm just like, that's good. That's good. Cause like, bro, like sometimes I will see my grandma. She'll be like, I'll see, I'll just see the way that she acts and be like, oh, she's so cute. But then like forget that she's had, I think, 80 years of life. And it's
Yeah.
just like she's been through it all. Like she immigrated from Laos all the way to North America. She's been through it all. She's been working, providing for her family, and like, like what you said about like, oh, they're so cute, but
Yeah.
like, like it kind of makes me think that, oh, I mean, they are cute, but they're just like me, like. But honestly, bro, I don't know why, but just you kind of saying like, oh, they're so cute, makes me think about how in a way everyone is cute, like
Yeah.
in like a weird way, because sometimes I'll be seeing people eating and be like, oh, they're so cute, but
Everybody's beautiful. You can find
yeah,
beauty in
yeah, that's what it
everything.
is. Like everyone's beautiful. Like I'll see someone yawning, I'll see someone just eating, just see someone just walking down the street and be like, oh, oh, that's nice.
And
Like,
there's another cliche for you. Life is beautiful. It really
mm,
is.
there you
It
go.
really is. And I mean, there's beauty in every single detail. And even like to kind of ride the coattail of age, like growing old, I think wrinkles are beautiful too, because it's kind of like little mini battle scars. Like this is how long I've
Mm,
been here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
I feel
like
like
that.
you can literally find beauty in every single detail if you really try hard enough.
Mm, that's good. Yeah, that's good, man. It's like it makes me think about how precious life is too, because uh y- uh I'm watching the show called One Piece right now, and uh this is gonna sound really random, but like there's this scene where there's this village of people that just don't eat, or they don't have the resources to eat, and they just never have any access to food. And then once they finally get the food, they're like happy, they're enjoying it. And it makes me think about how, like, dang, like we can really be happy over the things that we take for granted, and like the
Yeah.
things that we don't have. And it just shows how precious life is, how beautiful. Like, we don't need all of this as long as we have our simple needs met, like food, shelter, and someone who loves us, a family. It's just like, wow. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm just kind of getting lost in my
No,
thoughts right now. But it's like,
no, yeah, you're
you feel
completely
me though?
right. Like, and I feel like a lot of it comes from like the overstimulation that we do have. It like is like nowadays, like how like easy it is to access like everything. Like everything is basically at the palm of your hands, and sometimes we forget about just like basic things. You know what I'm saying? Things that like would make the 4-year-old Emmanuel happy. You know what I'm saying? Like things that make the 6-year-old Kevin happy. Sometimes like we lose our childlike mindset because the world has given us so much overstimulation to the point to where we forget what even makes us happy to begin with. And it's not much. It's not much. You hand a kindergartner a crayon and a piece of coloring paper, and they're happy.
Yeah.
Try doing that to you now. I'm not saying that you wouldn't get happy, but I'm just like generalizing. Like we kind of lose like our happiness because we expect so much more. But like
Mm,
really, it doesn't take much to make somebody happy.
mm, yeah.
And I feel like you can learn a lot from kids. You know what I'm saying? Because like they're in a way they're the most innocent people because like they see everything for what it truly is. You know what I'm saying? You know, like there's this thing to where they say kids will never lie to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're just being bluntly, brutally honest in a way of how they really feel about stuff. And I don't know. It's just like like I mean, I hate to circle back onto what I say, but like you can really learn from everything.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That was good. Yeah, it's a good conversation. I'm really appreciating this right now,
Yeah,
man. Like,
it's always a good time when me and you talk.
yeah, bro. Like
I always enjoy it.
I'm feeling the vibes and energy.
You push my mind. You push my mind in the best way.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad. So, like, speaking of pushing your mind even further, so uh with LKD Talks, with this podcast platform, I like to use it as a platform for other people to share their own thoughts on what they're going through this week. So, as like weekly journal entries. So, Kevin, what is something on your mind that's heavy or maybe even light that you like to share that you've just been thinking about this week?
Um, this week, okay. Um, could this be a question I can ask you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, do you feel like you've really appreciated everything that you've created? And what I mean by that is like sometimes like we get into this mode to where we are constantly like doing things for our life just because we feel like this is what we have to do. And not like and sometimes we don't really take a pause and just look at everything that you have created. And for example, like your music, your podcasts, like different like photo shoots you've been a part of, just everything that like you've done and just been like, wow, I really created all this. This came from my brain and been appreciative of it.
Not gonna lie, I'm taking a moment right now. Yeah, I'm taking a moment right now to like really appreciate. Like as soon as you said that, man, I'm just thinking back. I'm just thinking on like everything that I've accomplished since I was like 13. Just like, damn, man, that's a good question. That's a good self-reflection question to ask yourself once in a while.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, and it's a lot of the times we take it like we just take a lot of these things for granted in the most like innocent way possible, but we don't realize it because we feel like this is what we have to do. But like it all started with a thought. Like all of this, even me and you talking right now, it just started with a thought. And that's so crazy to me.
yeah, man.
Because realistically,
Yeah.
bro, like without all of this imagination, we wouldn't even know each other. And that's just
Damn.
crazy.
That is. It all started when 13-year-old me decided to pick up a microphone and rap in it like 10 years ago. Holy crap, that's 10 years
It's,
ago.
it's crazy when you think about it like that. It really is crazy when you think about it like that.
Dang, man. Yeah. And just kind of going back a little too is about I think I think we talked about it in this episode, or it was either in this episode or off camera, where we talked about we have to remember our why and
Yeah.
why we keep going and like why we even created it in the first place. And it's because we enjoy it. It's our outlet. And that's been a good reminder for myself as well recently. I've had to remind myself why I create in the first place. And even bro, honestly, just kind of looking back at old music. I don't know if you ever look back at your old music or not, from time to time. But like even though like it's laughable to look back at your old stuff or old videos or whatever, like like with what you said, it really helps us to appreciate what we do have now and how far we've come.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. Like I remember back when like I was making the old music at the time. I was like, yo, this is like the craziest thing ever. Like, and now
Yeah.
it's like, why? Why did you think this was so good? But I mean, like it all comes full circle and being able to appreciate it and like realize that growing is actually a real thing. Like we don't even realize that as growth sometimes, like being able to improve onto yourself, like, dang, like I actually used to sound like that, or I actually used to do that thing, or I actually used to be like that. And, you know, like I feel like for me personally, every day is a day to evolve onto yourself because it's inevitable. You know what I mean? Like, um, just like with a human, like a baby's not gonna crawl forever. Eventually it's gonna have to
Hmm.
walk. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
there's changes that you have to make in your life. mean, sometimes they're you don't even notice them, but like there's always a different change into your life, and I just feel like it's a part of evolving into the person that you're ultimately going to be. And even when you're the person that you're ultimately going to be, you're going to evolve into something else because life does go on.
Hmm. Yeah, bro. I kind of want to talk about mindset as well, like when we've created, because not gonna lie, bro, there was a part of me, and I don't know if you ever felt like this sometimes at all, but like I'm just thinking, through the different stages of my own personal life with music, and there was a point where so I was in this group chat with other artists and stuff, and like I would send my music over into the group chat, and then they would criticize it or not really give the best advice for how it could be better, but just kind of roast it in a way. And
Yeah,
then I found myself kind of trying to please them. I don't know if you ever went into like a people
yeah,
pleasing era, or
yeah,
if you
yeah,
still
for sure,
are in a way
for
uh,
sure, for sure.
with music. And like,
I'd say my pleasing people era was maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I think it was because of the environment I was around at the time. Like I like which like is was brought like in the beginning of this episode. Like I do make very emotional music, and sometimes it's not always the most hype music to like listen to. And I guess like around the time I was around music that was more like energy,
mm,
like centered type of music, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool in its own right. But I found myself just looking back at myself and I was like, and I thought I was boring. I really thought I was boring. And I was like, maybe I need to like excite my music up a little bit more. And I went through these little like areas of trying to like make more type of hyper popish type of, like more
mm,
energetic type of music. And I caught myself pretty early. Like there's probably, I don't think there's any really true examples that I can just name drop. Maybe Locksmith is a song of mine, but other than that, like I really caught myself before like that started to take over me. Not saying that it was bad because I don't want people to think that I'm just a sad person all the time. Like I do have songs, and you'll see whenever this album does come out, which I don't even think we've talked about in this podcast, but I do have different sides of me because like I said earlier, like this music is a reflection of me, but like a lot of the things I do is more emotional based, and I guess I was embarrassed of that. I guess like
mm,
that was a like to sum it all up, I was embarrassed of that because I didn't feel like it was cool at the time. As corny as that sounds, I didn't feel cool.
mm.
So I tried to like make myself fit into what everybody else was doing. And it just took me like actually like taking a look inside the mirror and being like, this isn't you. Like this
Mhm.
isn't who you
Right.
are. Just be who you are, and everything else will speak for itself. So I mean, in regards to that, like I separated myself around said people, not in a bad way, because I mean I feel like everybody needs their space eventually. But I mean, I didn't feel like I was around the best environment to actually make myself grow into not only a person but as an artist. So
Mm,
I kind of severed those ties and just took a bet on myself, and still taking the bet on myself.
that's good, bro. And see, like, look where music is now, not saying everyone's sad, but like it's thriving still. It's thriving. It's like the type of music your music is thriving in today's age and era. And when you kept going, man, when you kept going, it sprouted into something beautiful, instead of like immediately, cutting down the seed right away.
For
And
sure.
yeah, like you let it grow, you let it flow, you just like let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I mean, I'm just really just trying to do what feels right for me.
Right, right,
I mean,
man.
that's all I can do is control what I can control. Everything else is out of my control.
Right, bro. That's something that like what you said about control, that's something I had to learn as well. Like I can only control myself. I can't control other people's perception. If I don't please them, so be it. That's on them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And with your emotional music, like, yo, I just want to say this real quick. Yo, our song again is out now on all platforms by the time this episode comes out. Yo, Kevin did his thing on there. Oh my gosh, bro. Like I just want to say this real quick. Like when you send your verse, bro, like I sent that to you, like it was like 8:30 p.m. and you sent it the next hour. I was like, what the heck?
I was feeling it, bro.
Like,
I was really feeling the vibe. I was really feeling the vibe of it. I was like, man, I gotta hop on this, bro.
Bro, that was like the quickest turnaround time for a verse that I have ever witnessed. Like, I got back from work, I'm like, I checked my mail, I'm like, what the heck already? And it was so good too. It's like, it's not like a 50-50 verse. It's like 100% verse. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Yo, y'all show love to this man, Kevin, bro. Like he's really killing it.
And I hate the self drop, but maybe or maybe not at the time of this, when this my song "Emotional Advantages" may be out now. It may be out now. If it's not, don't crucify me. But if it is, then go stream it.
Hey, go stream that
along with the video.
Along with the
But
video.
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
As far as like the verse and the back to you that quick, it helps a lot that I do have the studio in my room, and that I did feel the vibe to the song. Like it was just like I heard it, and I was like, I gotta get on this. I gotta get on this. I stopped everything I was doing to get on it, bro.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you. Oh man, it turned out beautiful. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
It's no problem, bro. Y'all go stream that.
Y'all go stream that. And speaking of streaming and plugging stuff, Kevin, do you have anywhere where the people can find you at that you want to plug?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Kevin Padron, but with 2 N's because somebody took Kevin Padron.
Dang. Yeah, report them. Report them.
Yeah, I gotta report them. But everywhere else, it's just my name, Kevin Padron.
All right, that's what's up, man. Yo, Kevin, thanks for hopping on this podcast, man. Appreciated the conversation. Like, yo,
I appreciate it as always.
Yeah, man, we flowed on that, man. That was lovely. That was beautiful. And Kevin, do you have anything else that you want to leave the audience with? Any other more cliches?
First off, I just want to say thank you for letting me be able to just have this platform, not only just to speak to you, but just to kind of give people a little bit more insight of like the way that I think about things, and hopefully they can take something from what we say and use it for them. And I guess a cliche to leave the audience off with is appreciate every moment.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Love that. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and tell us what you thought about this podcast episode. In the meantime, we'll see you all next time. Peace out, y'all. Take care. Yeah.